Hey there, kindergarten friends. It's me, Miss Ledoux. Today we're going to learn about a new number. And I have these really awesome construction pieces to build the number for today. Let's see if you can guess what our new number is. Here's our new number. Can you guess what it is? Yes, if you said 2, you're correct. We're going to learn all about the number 2. There are 2 ways to write the number 2. The first way is by writing the number. Let's see how we form the number 2. When we write the number 2, we start at the top and we say, whoops, sliding, whoops. When we form our number 2, we notice that it curves at the top and then it slides to the right. The other way that we can show the number 2 is by the number word. Let's see how we spell 2. T-W-O spells 2. Let's look at some other awesome tools to show the amount of 2. Here are some other awesome ways to show the amount of 2. One way is to use our tens frame and put 1, 2 counters. Another way to show 2 is by pictures, 2 airplanes, or this is called a number rod. It has the number 2 and it has 1, 2 sections to it. And last is our domino. It has 1, 2 dots. Now that we've learned a little bit about the number 2, let's practice skywriting the number 2. Remember, we need our pointers. Everybody point and press. Whoops, sliding, whoops. Great job. Now we have our number word 2. Let's practice spelling the number word 2. T-W-O spells 2. Here we have several different numbers. Can you find all the number 2s? Place a circle marker over each number 2. Let's look at our first number. Our first number I see, it goes straight down. This is not a number 2. This is a number 1. We don't need a marker for this one. How about our next number? It curves around, but it curves around 1, 2 times. That's not a number 2, that's a number 3. How about our next one? It curves around and it slides to the right. Yes, this is a number 2. We need a marker for this one. How about our next one? It goes straight down. This is a number 1. We don't need a marker for this. How about our next one? I see it does in fact curve around and slides to the right. Yes, it is a number 2. What about our next number? This one curves around kind of like a circle. This is not a number 2. This is a 0. We don't need a marker for it. How about this number? It curves around 1, 2 times. This is not a number 2. This is a number 3. How about our next one? I see it curves around and slides to the right. Yes, this is in fact a number 2. How about this number? I see that it just goes straight down. That's a number 1. We don't need a marker for it. Our next number, though, I see it curves around and slides to the right. Yes, this is a number 2. What about our last number? I notice that it just goes straight down. That's not a number 2, that's a 1. We don't need a marker for it. Here is our number line. Our number line has a line that goes all the way across and has 1, 2 arrows. Our number line also has tick marks. The tick marks represent the number value. Can you find the number 2 on the number line? Drag the magnifying glass over the number 2. Let's find our number 2. We found it. Our number 2 curves around and slides to the right. Awesome job. Pick 2 flowers from the garden to place into the flower pot. Let's count as we pick 2 flowers. 1, 2. Awesome. We have 2 flowers in our flower pot. Here is our graph, and our graph has 2 sections. One section is for the picture that has the amount of 2. Our next section is for the picture that does not have the amount of 2. Look at each picture. Count and identify the number. Sort each picture that has 2 and that does not have 2. Let's look at our first picture. Our first picture is a counter. And how many do we see? 1. 1 is not the same as 2. This picture belongs in the not 2 side. What about our next picture? These we learned were unifix cubes. Let's count how many are together. 1, 2. It has a group of 2. Let's put this in the side that does have 2. Our next picture is a hand that has fingers. Let's count how many fingers it has shown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is not the same as 2. It's more than 2. This hand belongs in the section that is not 2. Our next picture is a tens frame, and it has some counters in it. Let's count how many. 1, 2. That does have the amount of 2. Let's place it in the side that does have 2. Next, we have popsicle sticks. Let's count how many. 1, 2, 3. 3 is not the same as 2. It's 1 more than 2. This belongs in the section that does not have 2. And our last picture is a picture of a die. Let's count how many dots are on our die. 1, 2. That does have 2. Let's put in the section that does have 2. Awesome job, boys and girls. Can't wait to see you next time.